When you're a kid, it's pretty hard to know exactly what you want to do, and you're quite impressionable. I think somebody had said that you'd make a great architect because you can draw straight lines and things. And so I was like, okay, I'll be an architect. So I took myself off to architecture school. By about year 3, I kind of was like, I really don't know if this is me, but I knuckled down and finished it anyway. I'd spent too much on my first computer at high school actually, and came out of one of my dad's work sites. No hard drive, 2 twin floppies, and a monochrome screen with a spreadsheet burnt into it. And I kind of taught myself to code on the side. And so I was doing that right through architecture school. So by the time I got to my last year of architecture school, I actually started my first business, which was a web design company. And from there, went through a range of different businesses, starting them and I guess growing them, selling them, some more successful than others, and we type of thing. And so I think collectively, all of the learnings together, it's really been about the people. People are what makes business. People are what really drive everything. And so learning how to grow yourself faster than the business, and then also how to grow people, because eventually it's really them that they're standing on your shoulders and making the company a success. So if you make people a success, then the company by virtue should be a success as well. So when you're in a high growth company, you literally do have to grow faster than the company. So if that's growing at a rate of knots, then you've got to be growing personally, and the company needs a different type of leadership at every stage as it's growing. So you have to continually be reinventing your leadership and how you're 50-something staff now. So you have to try and make yourself available, but you still, have to get stuff done right. So I think managing your schedule in a way that you have, I think for me personally, and it varies from person to person, I work quite long days during the week, but I really try and book in the weekend for family. I think that's how we've managed to strike a good balance as a family, that I'll knock off on a Friday and won't open the laptop till Monday. And sometimes it's hard. Every now and again I'll end up breaking my own rules. But I think the big thing really is, and it's taken quite a bit of time, but again, it comes back to the people thing, but working to objectives. So really trying to work with people in a way that you're outlaying, these are the objectives that we're trying to achieve. And then you come to me with a way that we're going to achieve those, really trying to empower people from a bottom-up standpoint. So it's like, I could tell you exactly how to do it and what you're doing, what you need to do, but that's me doing all the thinking. And if I'm doing that for everyone, then I become the bottleneck. So from a bottom-up leadership standpoint, it's become quite empowering from my perspective to be able to empower others, because then that frees up more of my time. And so, that tees into a few things, because some of the learnings might be letting go. We talked about some of the learnings before. At the start, you do everything, especially if it's day one of the startup and you're it. I've pretty much done every job in this company. But as you go through, you have to keep scaling, repeating, replacing yourself, letting things go, handing them off to people, and more rely on other people to stand on your shoulders and take the baton and do better than you did. So sometimes they might do it differently to how you might, and that can be quite tough, because you might look at something and say, oh, that's not how I would have done it. But if you bring it back to objectives, well, if they've achieved the objective that you set, does it matter that it's different to how you might have done it? And so that's been a real key. Yeah, well, I guess it comes back to that key learning for me around people and everything. If we extrapolate where technology is going, all of the mundane and repetitive tasks will eventually be automated through technology. And the thing that technology can't do is the the human tactile and interaction side of things. So that's where we need to go as business leaders and technology companies, is understanding the value that people bring, from an emotional and human perspective. And I think if we fast forward where things are going, it's just going to become more and more important to lean in on the human aspect and, great leadership principles, investing in people, believing in people, growing people, because that's really a catch cry of mine is you grow great companies by growing great people. And I think as business leaders and driving growing businesses, we can't afford to just focus on the tech, because it really is becoming more and more of a commodity, and the people are the key. So if you can bring, cutting edge tech together with, highly engaged, motivated teams that are doing amazing stuff, I think that's where the magic truly happens. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, some of those will be taken care of with technology, so the emotional and human side will become more and more important. I can envision, that might become the economy of the future, is not around paying for people's time to do manual labor. It might be paying for people's emotional connection. Who knows? It's a pretty scary thought, but I think we're in a really interesting time where the nexus of technology and people might kind of flip, and it's really interesting to see where it's going. So, putting people first along the way is never going to be a bad thing, and it's an exciting part of what we do.